Hello everyone, and as you guys know, this Monday Night Raw review is not only sponsored by Tout. No, I'm joking. Seriously though. I know the WWE was plugging Tout like there was no tomorrow tonight, but other than that, Raw was a very good. Raw was enjoyable tonight to me. It was a good Raw. It wasn't too bad, not too shabby. And it also, not only did it, was entertaining, but it also, not really built up to SummerSlam, but kind of gave us some ideas of possible matches of SummerSlam, and it built up for next week. You guys remember, next week's the, 3-hour Monday Night Raw. Raw starts 3 hours, for the 1000th episode in good old Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. And, Raw was pretty enjoyable tonight, like I said. We kicked it off with CM Punk coming out there, cutting a promo and whatnot, and Big Show interrupts him, and Big Show's basically saying how last night was just a lucky night for John Cena, that he won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and that if he won it, he would have beat up CM Punk right then and there, would have became the new WWE champion. So later in the night, it was announced that Big Show versus CM Punk being the main event and whatnot, and so Then I'm thinking to myself, well, this could be an interesting Monday Night Raw, So then we have, all these, announcing appearances, DX, The Rock, and whatnot, and then we get the tag team match, a match which, at first, before last night, I should have thought this should have been announced on Money in the Bank, but, instead we got it today. We got, let's see, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young versus Kofi Kingston and R-Truth for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And it was a pretty good match, it wasn't too bad. I'm really liking the tag team of the Primetime Players. AW, I know some people find him annoying, but hey, he's doing his job, alright? He's being a manager, he's going out there, doing something we haven't really seen. I think the last person I've seen, manager-wise, being kind of like, I guess you could say, that annoying, being loud. I'm not trying to comparison, but, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart used to do that with the whole megaphone deal. And now here's Abraham Washington, whatever you want to call him, doing it with the Primetime Players. But anyways, it was a good, enjoyable match. Kofi Kingston, R-Truth retained. So with them retaining, it kind of leads it up in the air. Will the Usos get a shot in the future? I don't know. But, Primo and Epico could get a shot in the future. I could see that happening. Or we could see also Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the Primetime Players, maybe getting a rematch and winning it then. So, who knows? And then we get a backstage segment between AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan, and I'm standing here going, they're still doing this? Like, really? But then, Daniel Bryan apologizes, she does too. Basically, all the hatred they had for each other, bitter hatred they've had in the last few weeks is all gone. It's old news. Daniel Bryan says he has to say something to AJ after the match, whatever, tonight. Eve walks in saying that she has a tag team partner, and it's going to be Daniel Bryan and AJ versus Eve and the partner of her choosing. So I was thinking, well, what's going on here? So then we get Zack Ryder versus Alberto Del Rio. The match was short. Del Rio wins. And then we get the return of Rey Mysterio. I'm actually surprised Rey Mysterio returned tonight. I thought he was going to return, I guess you could say tomorrow night on SmackDown, because we all know SmackDown's recorded live on Tuesdays. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to return in San Diego, not in Vegas. But he did return tonight. He got a pretty good pop. And, not too bad. I'm not the biggest Rey Mysterio fan, but I know a lot of people like him. And, he's still pretty much, has it in the ring type of deal. So, not too shabby, the return of Rey Mysterio. The only problem I have with this is we've already seen Del Rio versus Mysterio, other, separate occasions. But I guess, for storyline, this makes sense, because remember, Mysterio was out, and last time he faced, anyone in the ring due to an injury, it was because of Alberto Del Rio. So it makes sense, and it continues the feud. So, I'm not going to bash that at all. And then we get the return of Rikishi. Yeah, return Rikishi versus the one-man rock band Heath Slater. And, I kind of joked around on Twitter, about, Heath Slater's wondering why Rikishi hurt him, and he's like, I did it for The Rock. It's kind of old, but hey. But, it was cool to see Rikishi come back, with the kick to the face, and, the stink face and whatnot, and him dancing afterwards with his sons, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. That was a pretty cool segment right there. Kind of snot. I was like, yeah, I missed that, I was like, pretty soon bring Bros Clay, and then he bring Bros Clay. I'm like, alright, good. Alright, so then we had the mixed tag team match between Eve and The Miz. That's right, The Miz with Eve Torres' hand-picked partner, versus the tag team with Daniel Bryan and AJ. Not too bad of a match. I'm sure some people are thinking, oh, The Miz is back in the doghouse. Honestly, he just came back, so I guess WWE, I can see WWE maybe giving Miz a push later bit in the future, kind of like, I don't know, maybe about, a few months or so. And, I could also see right now a Miz and Daniel Bryan feud. That would be pretty cool. They had pretty good, chemistry in NXT, even when they were facing one-on-one, or whether, when The Miz was Daniel Bryan's pro. A lot of people forget about that. So, anyways, not too bad of a match. AJ and Daniel Bryan win. After the match is over, Daniel Bryan proposes for real now. He said himself he's proposing for real against AJ, for AJ. AJ says yes. They're having a wedding next week on the Monday Night Raw. It's the 1000th episode now. I know wrestling weddings don't usually go well, so this should be entertaining. And honestly, I can see, The Miz or someone, maybe Eve, possibly also another one, because it kind of seems like the, maybe making an AJ and Eve feud here, I don't know, but, you can see someone crashing the wedding, is what I'm trying to say. But, it should be entertaining, should be fun to watch, so it's interesting, So next, we got Jack Swagger, Jack the All-American versus Ryback, and, all I gotta say is one thing: feed him more. Obviously, Ryback he just raised hell. Like seriously, there's just, But hey, Swagger's the closest one that he's really had competition with. So, maybe, it's not like, oh, he's facing Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. He's just moving up a bit. So, yeah. Then we get, little Dolph. This was actually pretty good. Dolph Ziggler little promo. Vicky introduces him, of course, as always. Ziggler comes out in a suit and whatnot, and basically says that, he's going to be a better champion when he cashes in better than Bret Hart, all the legends and whatnot. And then out comes Chris Jericho. And I'm thinking, could they possibly be a Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho feud in the future? If so, I'm all up for it. I'm a fan of Ziggler. I'm a fan of Jericho. The best in the world at what he does. It would just be a pretty good, interesting feud, and they would probably put up a pretty good match too. So I'm not complaining. But then Jericho's like, "Who do you think you are?" or whatever, and then Dolph Ziggler is basically saying, "You're trying to steal my spotlight," and then Chris Jericho hits him with the code breaker. Another problem with this is that Dolph Ziggler got up practically immediately after getting hit with the code breaker. But other than that, this could be a nice little rivalry in the making right here, and I'm for it. Maybe Ziggler versus Jericho at SummerSlam. Hey, it's something. And then you got Brodus Clay versus JTG. Do I gotta say more from that? It's cool to see JTG on TV again. Other than that, and Brodus Clay wins. Yeah. Okay, so then we get Punk versus Jericho. Punk versus Big Show. Excuse me. And, the match itself was actually not too shabby. I know a lot of people say, oh, Big Show's slow, Big Show sucks. Big Show actually did pretty good here. And, I know some people are going to be like, oh, CM Punk was the reason for that. He may have been, he may not have been. I'm not going to argue with that. But anyway, CM Punk does win via disqualification. Then afterwards, Cena comes into the ring with his briefcase, and everyone's thinking, oh my god, he's going to cash it in. He's going to cash it in right now. He's going to cash it in. And then all of a sudden, he says that he's gonna wait until the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw next week to challenge him, and then, he practically says he's the best in the world himself. So wait a minute. In the last, 2.5 years, we've had Jericho say he's the best in the world at what he does. Punk last year said he's the best in the world. Now Cena says he's best in the world. How many freaking best in the world is going to be? I'm sorry, Cena, but to me, you are not best in the world. Well, that's for another story. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this review. I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. I can't wait till next week's Raw. We're going to get all these legends coming back. We got a wedding. We got the WWE Championship's going to be on the line. We're also going to have possibly, the United States IC title, hell, the Diva title. It's just, next week's Raw looks pretty good. I'm excited for it, and I'm pumped up. Let's go, WWE. This is when you're not lazy. Alright, see you guys.